All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Run! Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
Podcast.
and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Movies. That's Get to the Movies with the number 2. My name is Tiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
And today we're going to talk about films that have infections in it.
Yeah, infection. So obviously this whole coronavirus thing is going on, and we were thinking about it, and we were like, all right, let's talk about how this relates to art and in film, because some of these films have actually been based on real life events that have happened, right? And we're like,
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Let's figure out how
Yeah.
we could tackle this subject from the idea of art and film, and like whether that actually helps, almost warn people of things that have come before, and can they happen again? You know what I mean? Or sometimes just like wash your fucking hands. Like,
That's the thing about these films is that they show processes that help kind of keep yourself safe. Things that we don't constantly think about every day.
Right. So let's talk about it.
Like this whole.
I love how we're like tiptoeing around this. We're like, people
really-
are
it's a
dying.
sensitive
Let's not.
it's a
He
sensitive
said
subject.
processes that were safe, and my immediate thought was like, always shoot the head. Like that was my thought. But there's no zombies, so we're good. Like
Well,
always shoot him in the head.
No,
Always
it's a
shoot 'em in the
sensitive topic, and we're not trying to make light of what's going on.
Yeah.
We're
But we want to talk about it in context of what we do. Like
Correct,
we're talking
exactly.
about movies, we're talking about film, and,
Right.
and the importance of art, and sort of like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, we know that this shit can exist and does happen.
Right.
Now, some people want to take it too far and get a little too crazy about all this.
Right.
But we want to just go, hey, where have we seen this in films before? You
Right,
know, and
exactly.
where life is
Exactly.
imitating art, and art imitates life, and all that.
It's
Correct.
interesting because a lot of time when this topic comes up in Hollywood, they spin it into like a fantasy series, like The Walking Dead or World
Totally.
War
Right,
Z. And
right.
I mean,
I Am
I don't know
Legend.
if that's something that could happen in reality, like zombie people or whatever.
I don't think there's any
feel like
evidence that that's
not-
ever happened.
Yeah, it
No.
seems like in the Animal
Rabies,
Kingdom, maybe.
rabies. Yeah, rabies.
Yeah, like somebody, like a movie like that, like 28 Weeks Later. But even that didn't make sense because the people were technically dead, and then they became like super
Well-
athletes or something. And
well,
I was like,
HBO,
all right, come on.
HBO is taking on. Well, it's not a film, but it's a game. But HBO is taking on the game, The Last of Us, which
Oh,
The
yeah.
Last of Us is actually there's zombie-like.
It's like a
people,
fungus infection,
but it's
in
based on a
people,
real
yeah.
fungus. Why are you touching me? Why are you touching me?
Okay, first off,
Oh, is this
Get back to your mic and then you can talk. Why you just?
boy?
your mic was. Boy, don't you touch it. No, your mic was just far away from your mouth.
Thank
All right,
you.
can
He's
keep
such
going.
a caregiving person. Anywho,
Caregiving person.
yeah. Well, you just took care of me.
Okay.
So The Last of Us
Where's my
is based on
cookies and milk?
The Last of Us is based on an actual fungus that has
vampire
that
over
effect. What is going on with you?
Huh? I just took off my sunglasses, and it is really bright in this room. This
Put
is
it back on.
Dude,
Feel comfortable.
No, keep them off.
Be
Keep 'em
you.
off.
No, Neil doesn't like
I don't
it.
know who you're looking at. I'm like, is he looking over here? Is he looking over there? Like, I can't tell what the fuck is going on.
doesn't
I just
like
sing
it.
like
Should
Ray
I talk
Charles
to him now?
songs
I
in my
need
head.
eyes to communicate.
Okay.
I sing songs in my head when he has his shades on because I'm thinking of Ray Charles. I'm thinking of people that have shades. It's just great.
It's true. It's
Woman,
very,
oh
very
woman,
strong.
don't you treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen.
That was actually pretty good.
It wasn't bad. It
Good
wasn't
job.
bad.
Good job. But anywho, I was talking about Last of Us, which is based on a real fungus in Africa.
And a very good game.
Yeah, and it's a very good. So HBO and the people that made Chernobyl
Oh, right.
are actually involved in
Wow,
this
I
project.
didn't
So
know
I'm-
Craig Mazin.
yeah,
He's the guy
so-
who wrote that and created that.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to.
Are you going to watch
see
The
it,
Last of Us?
and-
I probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have any like connection to it, but yeah, I'll watch it.
This guy doesn't.
I will
watch-
not watch
He
it.
doesn't watch zombie stuff.
No, I do. I actually love zombie stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm not against zombie shit at all. Why wouldn't I watch zombie stuff?
I feel like you like never.
No, I'm a big zombie. I mean, outside of Zombieland and Shaun of the Dead, which I love, you know what I mean?
Oh.
I Am Legend.
They're
I'm,
like comedies.
I'm a Night of the Living Dead like fan. Return of the Living Dead is like I love
Oh,
that
yeah.
fucking movie.
They're great movies.
No, I mean I'd literally watch pretty much any zombie film that's come out. You know, I'm good with zombies. I don't.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Walking Dead. You watch Walking Dead?
I watched like 2 seasons of it.
Yeah, those are the best seasons. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't watch anything else. It's still on.
Just
How?
keeps going.
How is it still
Just
on?
keeps going.
I don't know.
It's turned into a soap opera.
Yeah.
All right.
Has, yeah.
All right.
So-
So, go ahead. I think we should talk about disease in film. Like we
Yeah,
should
yeah.
talk about these kind of movies where these diseases get out of control, and obviously there's zombie films. I Am Legend, but I think we'll mainly contain it to more. I mean, we'll probably talk about some of those, but we'll talk about more of like your Outbreak kind
Or
of movies.
Contagion, I
Well,
think, is
start-
probably the most
Okay.
accurate portrayal.
I've
of,
never
like,
seen that film.
Oh
So-
my God!
no,
really?
I didn't
It's a
watch it.
Literally
It's a-
everyone
it's
is
a
in
good
it.
film.
It's
Yeah.
like
It's a good
everyone
film.
in Hollywood shows up in that goddamn movie. At
Okay,
some
let's
point.
talk about it.
Great movie. It's essentially a movie. It's about a movie about an infectious disease that spread by people getting on airplanes. Like
Right.
diseases spread. Apparently, 12 monkeys. That's what happened.
Yep.
And then they're essentially trying to find patient zero, and it's like this investigation
from it,
trying to
yeah.
find patient zero. But people are dying like.
Sounds like Outbreak.
No, Outbreak is
Because
about
they're trying to find the monkey.
Outbreak is
Yeah.
a town.
Yes.
A town where people get infected
Yeah.
and slowly start to die. And Contagion, people start dying by like the hundreds of thousands, like rapidly within like 48 hours.
It's a
after this
world
happens.
event, like a world
Yeah, it's like
People start getting
this
thing
thing jumps from an animal to a person, and then it's like boom, people are
Shit.
just dying, and they're like
Right.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like the
and you
the
get to
situation is
see.
fucked.
I mean, the great thing about that film is they really use the details of how it spreads.
Yeah.
Just by touching a doorknob or certain things, and they show what not to do.
Right.
And how to be cautious on certain movements,
Right.
like from the elevator.
like don't touch your face,
Yeah.
don't touch your mouth with your hand.
It's
all that kind of
literally
stuff.
crazy because the other day I thought about it when I watched another film, and I touched my phone, went to my keys, and then touched my face in less than two minutes, less than a minute.
So you're aware of it.
And then I was aware. I was like, wow.
Also, if you
without
have facial
thought,
hair, it's riddled with the
without thought,
bacteria.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like if you have facial hair, a lot of guys will like touch their like right now I'm touching my face.
Yeah.
Right.
I you know.
I know. And this whole thing that came out with coronavirus is like, don't touch your face. And we're all like, what? Don't touch your mouth, your eyes, your nose.
Right.
That's all I do all day long.
That's all I do. I don't even
It's
have a job. I just touch my face.
Because you don't even think about it. You don't
I
even
know.
think
but
about it.
but I actually just not really off topic, but like I was watching this thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the coronavirus. He goes, from the virus's point of view, like this is optimal. This is the optimal situation for the virus, right?
Yeah.
Like it wants to procreate, like it wants to spread. It wants to all
Right.
the, and what it does is it's all through contact or whatever, and then it can actually sit dormant or symptomless almost
Right.
for a little bit until it's spread to more people,
Right.
and then it kicks in. See, if you had symptoms and people, a virus that kills you in 9 days is worse almost than a virus that kills you in 2 days, because
Right.
in 9 days you were able to spread it to more people without being contained and not aware of any of
Right.
it.
Right.
And then, but in 2 days, it's like, okay, it kills you off before you can spread it to anybody
Right,
else.
right. Yeah.
So if it can spread to as many people before it shows its head, it
Right.
wins.
Which that's more of the effect of the film Outbreak.
Right.
Because it has a...
Though Outbreak is airborne, yeah. But
it's airborne, but
does-
it kills rapidly.
Yes.
Instead of...
It's that damn monkey.
Instead of the movie Contagion.
Right, and
Yeah.
they're trying to find the monkey the whole
Right.
movie.
In Outbreak, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Dustin Hoffman, Renee Russo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's isn't Gene Hackman is in it?
No,
or,
no,
Morgan
no,
Freeman or something?
It's Morgan Freeman. Yes.
Morgan Freeman's
It's
in it?
Morgan
in
Freeman.
Outbreak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
he's the
Wow.
the I don't know, captain, the head of the military department that's in the town that deals with.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie. But I
I
remember
love
seeing it.
I love that film because it's so well done.
Do you know where I saw it, guys?
Where?
Outbreak.
New York City, Times Square.
Shut
I saw
your-
that when I was a kid. I was 9 years old.
What?
In
All
Times
these
Square.
movies came out the same year.
Surprise,
when Nick was 9.
surprise.
I was the same age. I'm like,
There's always something new with you, Nick.
in my memory, I'm always 9 years old, even if it happened yesterday. I was like, I was 9 years old. I ate breakfast with my daughter, who's 4. Yeah, I remember really liking Outbreak, though, and that is the first one I remember seeing.
Right.
I'd always associated it in a way with arachnophobia in my mind. Just that kind of
The film?
Yeah, they're not similar, but as a kid, you know how you make certain associations that aren't necessarily.
yeah.
But
you kind of put it in that mind box.
Yeah, because
you know.
there were these spiders, there were these foreign spiders that could come in, these immigrant spiders coming in, taking all of our
Huh?
There,
What?
there was these
It just
the
got
spiders.
dark there for a second.
I'm just kidding. The
Coughing on
spiders had
everybody.
The spiders had almost like been imported. They came from a different area or whatever.
Or yeah,
and
they were
came
from
into-
like South America or something.
something like that.
The
Yeah,
guy brought.
But
the
same with the
spider,
monkey.
and
If
then
the beginning of Outbreak, they're in like Africa or somewhere,
Right.
and the monkey.
They're in
you know what I
Brazil.
mean?
there's a
It's
lot
taken
of
from an
those.
area.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Is it like
like movies.
low
It's-
key kind of been like they came out of our country? You know, is
What?
this a little white
Where are you
supremacy
going,
being
Nick?
fucking fed into these goddamn fucking storylines?
No, these movies are
I'm
about.
just trying to be a sensationalist.
they're-
I'm kidding.
I was like,
They're
what's
about. They're
going
literally
on?
all about like Columbus rolling up to the indigenous people of like the Bahamian Islands, and then being like, "Hey, how you doing?" Sneezing on them,
Syphilis.
and then they're instantly dead. Like,
Syphilis says what? Exactly. Now you have it.
yeah,
So,
that was.
yeah. We brought them.
That whole concept is crazy to me.
we brought them STDs.
But it's crazy that people could be separated by like oceans and then like not have immunities to things that and another culture like just entirely.
They have no antibodies to these, like built up to
Yeah.
these things at all. They don't know what.
It's-
They've never been exposed to it, so their body is not ready for it, and it's completely compromised when
Yeah.
it comes to certain things.
Unreal.
Yeah.
But Contagion, yeah, you have to watch it too. You've watched it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
love that film.
fantastic. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne's in it.
Yeah.
Is
Lawrence
Matt
Fishburne- is
Damon?
Matt Damon's
this
in
came
it?
out what,
Damon?
like 10 years ago?
Yeah,
About-
like
yeah,
Gwyneth
it's about
Paltrow recently
Gwyneth
like
Paltrow.
tweeted about
Yeah,
it. She
yeah.
tweeted about it. She's like, I went through this.
She passes
or
away in
something.
it. Yeah. She was Matt Damon's wife, and she passes away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
all right.
And
Well, I
that-
need to see that. I know a lot of people have been referencing it now since
It's
you know,
it's
this whole
Soderbergh.
coronavirus
Soderbergh
thing.
did that movie. Is that right or no? Do I have this wrong?
That sounds right, actually. No, well, I'm thinking Side Effects. I know he did Side Effects,
He definitely did Side Effects.
but did he also do? Okay. All right. Well, I got to see that one now because everybody keeps referencing it online, and I'm like, I remember when this came out, but I wasn't really thinking about it too much.
Yeah,
Um,
it's got a fantastic cast. It's
It's a really good cast. It's a film that I think got
Oh.
passed by for some reason.
Kate Winslet, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Right.
Yes, Jude Law, that's right.
Lawrence Fishburne.
There's a lot of people in there. There is.
Marion
And for some reason that
Cotillard.
movie got passed for I don't know why. And it got passed. And you know one film
Yeah,
about
Steven Soderbergh directed
Okay.
it. Yeah.
one film that saved the planet by a infectious disease, War of the World.
Oh, yeah, that's actually interesting.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the funny thing is, I actually love that aspect of.
I
of
love that.
Yeah.
Not the Spielberg one, but I had seen the original.
I love
Right,
the
I was
right.
Spielberg
familiar
one.
with that movie, but just that the idea that it was like, oh my god, like
We had
mankind
earned our right to be on this planet.
Yeah, like we were like,
Which is what you were just talking
we
about.
were
the
getting
oceans
our
apart.
asses kicked. We
Yeah.
were like getting our
Throughout the whole
asses
film, yeah.
handed to us, and then all it took was like some dude like sneezing on an alien, and it was like over. And it was like, oh, I got you, bitch.
Yeah.
Like our planet now.
No, it's
I was like,
literally.
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
It literally, it's a really cool concept. I remember when I first saw that because I had never heard the original broadcast or seen it in the original movies or whatever. When that Spielberg one came out, which I think is a wildly underrated movie, by the way.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think it's
I've
great.
rewatched it recently, and
Yeah.
there are aspects of it that I'm like I don't think are great, and it's a little bit of a disjointed movie, but like in the sense of the storytelling, like with the whole story arc with the son
Yeah.
leaving, and then it all of a sudden turning into like Tim Robbins and the
Yeah.
daughter. Like it was just like this very jarring kind of like spastic experience.
Like it takes a
Right.
break. I think what works about that movie is it literally is just the story of a father and trying to keep his two kids alive. And
But he's like an awful person.
but he does
Like, he's
it-
not a good dad
Right,
at
but then-
all.
but
He
then
doesn't
that-
even necessarily become a good dad
Yes,
by
he
the end of the
he
movie.
does actually. No, he does. He really
He
does.
survives and he keeps his kids or his daughter alive.
I think he does become like a better father and a better person
He
by
does.
the end, and he really feels emotion. Like he definitely like kind
Not
of
even by the
snaps out
end.
of
But
it.
my
Not even by the
argument is
end.
that it doesn't. Spielberg doesn't convey that clearly.
He
Oh,
does.
I
Oh
don't-
my gosh.
I don't think so.
I
I think that movie's
rewatched it.
The
emotional.
scene,
like
the scene
two or
before,
three
wait, the
times.
scene before his son goes into battle, he wanted to fight. That whole scene about fatherhood and his son leaving, like he really,
and he's trying to stop him, but somebody's taking Dakota Fanning, his daughter, at the
Yeah,
same time.
he had to
so
make a
he's
fa-
literally
Well,
like
they weren't
torn-
taking her. They were
No,
like,
they
"No."
were taking her.
They're like,
They
"Come
were
with us."
literally
There's
taking
like
her.
literally bombs.
No, they weren't
going
taking her in
off.
a
Yeah.
bad way, but they took her. They picked her up, and they were like,
Yeah.
they're like, well,
I
take-
know that's a great scene,
They're trying to
but
help
like in
her,
the
but-
same way, it's like I didn't understand the motivation of the son to like do what he did.
wanted
He
to
murders
fight.
Tim Robbins to keep his own daughter alive. Like that scene where he's
and that even
crying,
is a weird thing because they don't make that super clear.
But that,
Oh
no, they
my
make it
god,
super clear.
they make it. Oh my gosh.
I mean, they make it clear, but it's like
When he's
you're
crying-
like, wait,
5
did he
minutes
choke that guy out
before he kills him.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's face,
Where he's just panicking?
knowing what he has to do,
Great.
what he doesn't want to do and turn into, it's amazing. What you
I
don't know shit
And that
right
scene
now.
where he
You
Neil.
guys are reading into it a lot.
No, that's a good fucking
When
film.
was the last time you guys watched it?
Within the last 2 years. I own it. I've seen it.
I
I mean,
I
I've
watched-
watched it like in the last.
I watched it last year.
2 months.
but I've seen it a lot.
I watched it last year,
I've seen the movie.
and it's
a lot.
March. I just won't tell you when I watched it last
It
year.
was January of last year.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie at all. I'm
No.
just saying it's like there are
I
things
think it-
about it that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's a
I-
very unique
yeah.
film. I think it's almost like isolated little incidents in the day or 2 days of this
Right,
man's
right.
life with his kids.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like about it. It doesn't impact the entire situation, and the whole situation is just how it impacts these individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sort of like. If a natural disaster happened,
Right.
how does somebody do it? It's not like an Independence Day where the central characters are also part of the central plot of the movie,
Right.
And are affecting, the aliens directly. It's not like that,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a movie about how it's all going down, and he's only just trying to survive.
Right.
He can't do anything about it. Though he does get a little point at that end where he sees the birds landing on it, and he points it out to the military, and then they start shooting it. But I like the movie. From a storytelling argument, some people could be like, "Oh, it's if we never saw his story, it doesn't matter because either way, the aliens are going to die at the end. And it's too convenient." But that's the genius of that thing.
Film,
It's like
yeah.
it's almost like pointing out, "Hey, we've earned our right
Well,
to be
that's-
on this planet."
That's like that argument
And this-
about Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
They're like, if Indiana Jones didn't exist in that entire movie, like all the major events of that story would have happened
Right.
anyway.
And
like,
the-
nothing
and-
he
and
did
the
in
argument
that movie
against
changed
that- the
anything.
argument
And I'm
against-
like, don't tell me that.
No,
Right.
but the argument against that is that that's not the case at all because he's the main character. And we're talking about his adventure. We're not talking about what's going to happen with the
No, I
Ark
know.
and the Nazis. The movie's not about the Ark and the Nazis.
But it's just
No.
the
The
movie's
way
about
about
Indiana
that movie
Jones.
that I never looked at it. I never looked at it that
It is.
way.
It is.
Yeah.
But again, it's not
It's
about.
like his actions don't actually affect. He's just kind of like dressing.
It's not true at all.
That's not true.
addressing. in
No,
the-
no, no.
on the-
It
of the
only
events.
doesn't affect the fact that when they open the thing, they were going to get killed. That's the only thing it doesn't affect. Everything else that happens in that movie is directly involved with what he's doing and the decisions he's making. Ravenwood,
But it's
Marion
like-
Ravenwood getting
He
kidnapped.
doesn't stop them from
No, but that
using
one
that
decision-
power, like
No.
the,
But that's
the
not what the
Ark
movie's
would have
about.
killed them anyway.
But that's not what the movie's about, and that's
I
where
know
people
it's
lose
not what
their
it's
threat.
about, but I never like when somebody pointed that out to me. I was like, I never looked at it that way.
I know it is, but it's one of these weak nerd arguments that it's online.
I know,
It's
it's-
from
That
people
whole
who don't know how
movie
to tell a
is
story.
It's basically
Fuck them.
about
Fuck them.
Getting
Yeah.
upset. 'cause
It's basically
true.
like Rogue One. That it's each individual event can cause a big chain reaction.
Yeah.
and that's what Tom Cruise did because of that whole pigeon scene.
Yeah.
So and it's each individual story can cause a big reaction, which we see it clearly in Rogue One. They caused this whole event to change in Star Wars. So, but
Go
another,
ahead. Which one?
another film I want to talk
Well, we
about.
didn't talk about Outbreak, really.
Oh yeah, well let's talk about Outbreak.
Or what was this other one?
Oh, well, I was gonna say one that's it's more of a scary movie, but it was really interesting because the side story of it is about people being quarantined.
Oh,
The movie Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Another one I haven't seen.
It's more of like almost like a found footage. It's like the news
Right,
crew
right,
is like
yeah, it's
ends
almost-
up getting
yeah.
quarantined, and then it's like what's going on, and they're in
Exactly.
like, the city, and it's nighttime, and yeah,
Right, and they're not allowed out of the building,
yeah.
which is it was a very interesting take.
The actress from Dexter, right? Who played the sister.
I think so. Yeah, correct.
Carpenter.
She
Kelly,
played the
something Carpenter. Jennifer Carpenter or something.
I think her and the main actor are like married now or something.
Yeah,
no,
they-
they broke up.
They were.
After. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they broke
Hollywood
up.
drama.
She didn't like his personality.
Yeah. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy.
I don't know things. Okay, but let's. This is so random. All right, let's talk about Outbreak. You want to talk about Outbreak some more? I mean, it basically. I mean, that movie. We talked about it. I
Well,
mean,
we could talk about World War Z.
Are we getting into zombie movies
I
now?
mean,
It's funny because there's
a
actually
lot of
not
them are
that
zombie.
many. Yeah, that is something that Hollywood does. It's
Well,
like,
there's-
how do we make disease interesting? Well, it's got to be
Right.
crazy.
Well, you want to see a really good, even like a grounded in realism movie. Like there's a fantastical aspect of it, but I feel like I recently watched this because for whatever reason it's been like looping on cable. The Andromeda Strain.
I was gonna say Drama
Yeah.
Strain. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a thing from
70s,
space,
like early
but
70s or whatever.
there's absolutely no reason that something like this couldn't fucking happen. Like a fucking rock falls out of the sky, or like in a satellite that's been up there orbiting for 50 years, gets some weird contamination, lands here, and then all of a sudden, like everybody's got like sand blood.
Well, we could talk about the
Which is what
most
happens in the
recent
movie.
version of that series.
I didn't see
Venom.
the new one. I
Venom.
need to watch it now.
No, he's talking
No, they
about Venom.
didn't. They did a miniseries.
Oh, the Andromeda Strain?
Andromeda Strain miniseries. Yeah,
what,
a more recent one.
Really?
There's the
HBO?
original film in the 70s that came out, which
Yeah.
was directed by Michael Crichton. Is that right?
Oh, it is from a Michael Crichton book at
yeah,
least,
it's based
isn't
on
it?
his book. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
It's terrifying because they spend this whole time talking about how they actually create these levels of protection against, like they have that facility where they have like 5 levels, and there's like a nuclear bomb in the facility if there's ever like an outbreak, and if they detect like the virus in the air, like the nuclear bomb will automatically activate, and then there's a one person who has a key who can deactivate the bomb. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is like some crazy shit.
Yeah,
And then they
yeah.
find out that this particular virus reacts to radiation and will like expand and
Man,
like
yeah.
eats radiation. And they're like, don't let the nuke go off.
It's so crazy.
It's a movie like on a level like that has this level of like tension and hysteria that's like it's grounded, but and it's like in the 70s.
It gets a little
so
Hollywood.
It
Yeah,
has
it's
the
a little
70s
Hollywood.
thing, but it's
Yeah.
really, really well done.
Yeah.
I really like one film that got passed over, and I don't think it should, except I really did not like how it ended. That it's in the zombie realm, but it's about the spreading of that infection. It's Maggie. With,
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Abigail Breslin.
Yeah, a lot of people missed it, and that movie
I don't
was
think
good.
I saw this.
I didn't see it, and I wanted to see it.
It is
and
so good. You guys should see it.
It's really
It's
grounded,
really
right?
good.
It's really is like him
It's
and
really
his daughter,
grounded,
like,
yeah.
and she's like turning into a
So
zombie.
the movie's based on he's trying to protect his daughter. He knows his daughter is turning, and he's doing everything to try to save her.
Right.
And it's just nothing is working. And he's if I remember correctly, he's also a sheriff, and there's the police department coming to his house talking about they have to kill her, and he's like, no, you're not going to kill my daughter, and how he deals with that whole situation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say any more and spoil the ending, but that's just. It's an interesting take because they make it so real in how he deals with losing a person and not having any control of the condition and just giving everything to try to get his daughter back. It's a powerful film. It really is. The only thing I didn't like about that film was just literally the last 3 minutes.
Don't say anything about it.
I'm not going to
okay.
say it, but I think that's a film that a lot of people need to watch. Because that whole story, their relationship, they're incredible in it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, 10 plus on.
Yeah,
in that
I
film,
heard
so.
that was like one of his better returns to
It
acting.
was
Yeah.
It was really good return to acting. So
Yeah. I'm gonna mention again because many of these movies are like rooted in kind of like fantasy or whatever. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The whole
Right.
point of that is that by the reason why Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes are like post-apocalyptic is because they spread it. Yeah, like
they're trying to create a cure, and it.
Yes, exactly. These apes are immune to it, which
Right.
is why they end up becoming the Planet of the Apes because everybody else is taken out and they get on the plane and it just
Right.
spreads. Like
And it's horrible. They all kind of start to get dementia, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're human, you become infected and you like lose the ability to like your analytical ability.
you
can't
almost
think
become
or like function
an actual
mentally.
ape. Like you just
Right.
you
You
go
become
backwards.
like an animal,
and then
or
you die.
something.
Right.
Yeah, but then you die.
Because there are a lot of people still alive, right?
I think there are a lot of people alive, but they're not infected with it. Like if you watch War for the Planet of the Apes, I should rewatch him actually. But and Woody Harrelson's character in War, remember?
That was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucked with the doll.
Oh yeah, the doll. Holy
Yeah.
shit! Those movies are so fucking good. Jesus Christ. But anyways, and another one staying on the same line that has similarities. 12 Monkeys with
Right.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
The whole point of that movie, it's a sci-fi film with time travel and everything like that. But it's him being sent back to basically try and stop this thing from spreading.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No. So
It's an American version of a French film, actually.
is
It's
it
a
actually?
remake. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
Terry Gilliam is
With
the guy
Bruce
who directed
Willis.
it. With Bruce Willis.
With Bruce
yeah,
Willis
he's speaking
and Brad
French.
Pitt. I thought
And
that was
Brad Pitt.
one of Brad Pitt's
Best,
I think
best
it's still. I think
performances.
it's still his
Yeah.
best performance. Like that
Yeah.
whole like in the nut house. Like he just got the
That
way he's got
eyeball
that
thing.
one. He does that. Like he makes one eye look like twitchy and
twitchy.
like, but it's also like smaller than the other one.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But it's all in the way he just does it, and
Yeah.
he's so.
So good.
He's so crazy, so
good,
spat.
He's really good in it because he's the one that they're saying is like kind of responsible for the thing spreading, and just the whole way that movie also connects up to his own childhood. Bruce Willis, if you remember that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he keeps having
That's
this
like my
vision.
favorite part of that movie is
It's
that
so
he keeps having these
vision
flashes
of being
like,
in this airport,
seeing
and
this man
guy
like
with getting shot or whatever, and with the red hair and the mustache, and then he
Everything
later on
coming together.
is. It's just.
Yeah.
I don't want
It's
to spoil it if nobody's seen it, but like
You
it's
just spoiled.
I did and
You
didn't.
hit the spoiler and then
Well,
stopped.
if you've never seen
And
it,
he-
then
Yeah, but
is
everything I'm
cut.
saying is a little bit sort of
and
ambiguous.
it's
But
the whole movie. Like I feel like they kind of hit you hard with that without
Yeah.
any like you don't really see it coming. So you
Right.
could watch that movie and be like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and you're so distracted by everything else that's going on.
there's a lot of crazy shit going on.
that when that happens, it like blows your mind.
Yeah.
You're like,
And I
the
like the
dreams
way-
really make you feel the effects of time travel. And
Yes.
that was really cool.
And yeah, and that movie is very. I love the way they do the time travel, and it's very kind of like gritty and everything. And he's a prisoner.
Yeah.
They take him like out of his prison cell to send him back in time, and then they put him back.
Right.
It's a pretty nutty movie.
Yeah.
And like everything's kind of like when he goes like in present day or whatever, it's everything's fucked. Like there's lions walking on top of buildings, and
Yeah.
there's like overgrown everything. Like it is post-apocalyptic because this thing has just wiped out like almost all of mankind.
yeah, it is
Which goes
interesting that
into oh, I'm sorry, I was going to take us into I Am Legend.
Yeah, but I was gonna say it's interesting that like we don't actually have that many. At least I don't know in the United States cinema, there aren't that many films that are like accurate portrayals of like a mass contagion or something. Other than the film
Well, I
Contagion,
think-
it's like most of
Yeah.
these movies are like zombies. People turn into murderous psychopaths. And
Yeah,
there's always
that's what I'm
some
saying. It's
But I think
not
it's like-
extreme reaction to a thing, and that's not reality.
Yeah.
I don't
well,
think.
I think it's one
At least
what
that I
Nick
know
what Nick
aware of.
said
Yeah.
is it's you have to make it a film. So there has to
Yeah,
be
but you can make
high-
like a
and he
high
does-
drama or
Well,
a
obviously-
very well done thriller. That's
Outbreak.
Well,
based
we
in
have
reality.
Outbreak and we have Contagions, but I think it's very difficult. And I also think it's because the topic itself it's sensitive.
In a way.
Yeah, it's very
mean-
difficult because if you think of
The last time there was a major event was probably the Spanish flu or something in like the early turn of the century. And nobody remembers that. I mean, nobody is alive to remember that, or at least not a lot of them.
Well, you don't remember swine flu? They made all those pigs
There were like
green.
3 people.
Do you know why that's why pigs are green in the Angry Birds game? Because it came out during swine flu, so they made the pigs green to like
Wow.
swine flu, pig sick. That's
Well,
why
all-
those pigs are green in the
I
Angry
never
Birds.
thought of that.
I read like there was like a comparison between like the SARS and swine and there's like another one that were like every year there's like a virus that the media basically blows up and it's like,
Right.
oh, it's gonna get us all. But this corona whatever thing is like
Yeah.
a little more serious.
It is
But
because
compared
the
to the-
death rate is
compared
higher
to the
compared to
flu-
how many we've located already.
But compared to like the actual influenza in this country, like it's like a huge number of people
Yeah.
get infected and
By the way, I do want to
Yeah,
promote
that's-
the film Angry Birds 2. It was incredible.
You're kidding.
I'm
this
telling
a real
you,
conversation
This is
we're having?
serious. Like my wife wanted to watch it the other night. and
Angry
literally-
Birds too.
You know how you're
let me-
in a
let me-
certain
let me-
mood
let me tell you
sometimes? I
something.
think he was
No, let
probably
me
We
tell
in
you
the
can't
mood
get
for it.
this guy
Let
to
me
watch
tell you something. Let me
Dr.
tell you something.
Sleep, and he watched Angry Birds too.
Let me tell
Are
you
you
something.
kidding me right now?
It is literally like we recently talked about Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally I feel Angry Birds 2 is one of the best video game 2 film.
But Angry Birds
Really?
doesn't
It's
have a story,
really that
does
good.
it?
Watch it.
Angry Birds does have a story.
It does have
The
a story.
game?
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a
It even
story?
starts with like
The
little things
jokes
you
in it,
understand that. Yeah.
everything lands so perfect. It's like I was so surprised how well it was done, and I
Yeah.
was so surprised that it was literally better than the first one. But
I like it when
should watch
you go in and you have like no or extremely low expectations,
Right.
and you're like, that
the
shit
best
blew my
way to
mind.
go.
I
It's
know,
the-
but it's
yeah, it's
sometimes
so
it's
hard to do.
if it's like a franchise that you're familiar with, and it's like.
right.
I'm going in with no expectations, but really you have like secret
Right,
expectations
right.
for the shit to blow
It's
your
like
mind.
Superman 4, Quest for Peace, you know? I went in with high expectations, No, that movie is so bad.
Is
So
that the
good.
canon one?
That's the Canon Films
Oh,
one,
yeah.
where he like takes the girl, he's flying with her all romantically, a la him and Lois Lane in the first Superman movie, but he takes her into outer space and they're just flying around. She's not exploding or
Outer
anything.
space. No, he has a Superman bubble. He's
No.
just
Oh,
like
God.
blowing air around them.
They
Like,
just didn't have the money to show that special effects of the bubble. They just
Yeah.
it's implied.
I'm sure
it's
somebody
implied.
has
It's
It's
there.
the implication.
So
I Am Legend is fantastic.
I Am Legend is
Very
fantastic.
good. I saw that on
It's-
Christmas
it's-
Day,
yeah.
2007, I guess it was when it came out.
Alex
Do you guys have-
Proyas directed that? The
Do you-
director of The Crow? Is that right?
Oh,
think so.
did he direct that?
I
That,
wanna
that is
say.
the director of The Crow, but I didn't know he directed I Am Legend.
He also
you-
did Dark City, which is one of my favorite movies.
Did you guys have the? Did you guys get the Blu-ray of that?
I Am Legend? No, I think I
did not
own it on
direct it.
DVD or something.
He did not direct it. Sorry.
There was
Who did direct it?
Francis Lawrence.
Person.
Oh, that's is that the guy who did the Hunger Games? No.
He did The Hunger Games.
Hunger
He did
Games,
Hunger Games,
okay.
Catching Fire. He did Constantine.
Yeah, okay.
One of my favorite films.
He did Red Sparrow, which came out
Seabiscuit?
recently.
Did you do Seabiscuit?
Water for Elephants.
Did you do Seabiscuit in like 04 or whatever?
He's scrolling. He's scrolling.
I'm scrolling.
Come on.
He's
He's done
scrolling.
a lot of music
Come
I
on,
just need the
videos
answer
come
to
on.
this question.
Janet Jackson.
Did he do...
All right. So
No, he didn't do Seabiscuit. The guy who directed the first Hunger Games did Seabiscuit.
yeah.
Which was what's his face?
He did Joy. He did a bunch of Jennifer Lawrence movies.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
10
No,
Jennifer
Joy
Lawrence.
was David O. Russell.
He was trying to
It
get
says
her
that
number.
He directed it.
He was trying to get her number.
David O. Russell then wrote it. Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts. I'm sorry. This is total
Oh
tangent.
no, I'm sorry. It says Dwar Joy, which looks like a perfume ad.
Oh, Jesus. Dior.
Where's Jennifer Lawrence?
Dior. Yeah.
Dior Joy.
I like how you just said Dior as Door.
Dwar.
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 Oh,
I don't even know what this is.
Oh, the
dude.
door. Oh, the door.
Oh,
Is
the
this
door.
a perfume?
Odor.
This is a
Odor.
well-known
Odor.
perfume? Dior?
Yes, yes.
Odor.
Oh, okay.
He did it. He did had an Odor moment.
Yeah.
Anywho,
But so I Am Legend, though, you were saying Blu-ray?
No,
What a tangent.
so
Holy
in the
shit.
Blu-ray, it has the alternative endings.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. It's on the DVD, too. Yeah,
Is it? Yeah.
It's actually, I prefer that happy ending off into the sunset in terms of just feeling better. I kind of, because I'm like bummed. Okay, I like the ending as it is. You're right, but the alternate ending is more of a happy ending.
Anything. He said you're right. Love that moment.
That's the
You know,
argument
it's a
wanna
remake
have.
of The Last Man on Earth
Yeah.
with Vincent Price.
And that was the Omega Man,
which Omega
with
Man's
Charlton Heston.
a remake of Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price.
Are you positive? Because Omega Man is based off a book called Omega Man. Which
Well,
I
Last Man on Earth is a film that was made about the last man on Earth. And
Yeah, I got that.
There's a
Thanks.
movie called End of Days.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, not it's not End of Days, End of the World or something like that, where this group of people moved to like this cabin.
Oh,
in-
I saw that with the dude from Entourage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's called Goodbye World.
Goodbye, something like that. Yeah,
I think it's like, well, it was a text message that was sent to like every cell phone in the planet. Like somebody hacked the world and like
Yeah.
sent a text message to all cell phones that said Goodbye World, and then literally all electronics just shut down. And like everybody couldn't nobody could communicate with each other.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all the power plants worldwide like shut down.
It was that was a good film.
Yeah,
Okay, you're right.
this is good.
There was Last Man on Earth was the first one made from the book.
Right.
The book's from it's called I Am Legend from 1954, and then they did a 1964 Last Man on Earth, and then in 1971 they did the Omega Man.
Yeah.
which is Charlton Heston.
I've never seen the Omega Man.
So I've seen the Omega Man. I've not seen Last Man on Earth, but the Omega Man it's very different because whereas in I Am Legend, at least the Will Smith one,
Yeah.
they're like zombie vampire-ish kind of
Which is
things.
funny because they shot that entire movie with actors who had makeup on,
Oh.
and they were like, "We're good." And then they screen tested the movie, and the audience is like, "This sucks." And so then they went back and had a CG company do CG all of the bad guys into these like fast zombie creatures.
They're freaky. They're fucking
They're
freaky.
I want to
That
see the
movie-
original cut where it was like the one
I
that they
wanna
were
see
going to
that
release
too.
with just the actors
But
wearing makeup.
in Omega Man, they're not the same. They're like a cult, and they basically can't be out in the sun, so it's got that vampire-ish thing. But
Yeah.
they're like normal. Like they can function. They just get like pale and like the albino looking, and they
Like
can't
The
be out in the
Descent.
sun. But they're like normal. I don't know. It's very weird.
Oh,
It's
they're like
it's-
normal people.
Yeah, but they're not at the same time because they're like obsessed with being in the cult. Like that's the effect is that they want to join this cult. You know what I mean?
In the
It's-
Omega Man?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
You don't want to humanize the bad guys.
Yeah.
You want them to just be bad,
Yeah.
and it's black and white.
Right.
There's no gray area. You don't want to feel for bad people.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's a fine movie, but I Am Legend I thought was really good. I thought
That was
they did the
incredible
emotion
film.
really
Yeah.
well. They did a
Yeah.
thing with his family where
I thought
Willow Smith.
Alice Braga was really good.
Yeah, she was great in it.
Yeah.
So, but talk about the ending. I think the alternate ending it's interesting to watch it
Well,
because
it's very interesting because one of the alternate endings, he survives, which gives you a different perspective on what's going to happen. Because that's the great thing about the ending of this film is that each perspective gives you an almost different future
Right.
of what's going to happen next.
Right.
The one that majority saw, which is in the film, he dies at the end.
Yes.
And she becomes the person that needs to.
He gives her the antidotes.
He gives her the antidotes.
Yes.
In the air shaft.
Right.
And she becomes the person that has to save the world and carry on what he did.
right.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a scientist. So he's working on a cure. That's what he's been trying to do. And
Exactly.
he basically is able to abate these symptoms and like bring this girl back to normal,
Exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
But that guy who's like her husband or whatever, like
Right.
the psycho vampire zombie thing, he's trying to get her out of this encased thing in his house. And there's
Right.
a big group of them and they're smashing through this thing or whatever. He gives the cure because he knows he can't do anything with these guys because they're not rational.
Right.
They're not going to rationalize. They're going to get in there and kill him. Gives it to what's her face.
Right.
Sends her out. He then blows himself up with everybody, and then she goes off to the last like living civilization and brings him the cure.
Right.
So it's like a happy ending in a way, but he died and whatever.
Right.
But the alternate ending,
He survives.
but
He
the
makes-
way he survives is really weird because he basically lets them in and then like steps back and they sniff him.
yeah.
And then they take the body and they go out instead of killing him.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It
weird.
almost like humanizes them.
Yes.
You know, the whole movie, they're
Like-
like the antagonists. They stop and they become like
rational for a
rational
moment.
for a moment.
And
yeah.
it almost sort of like, why did he risk that?
Well, like he didn't kill her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she was still alive, and the fact that it was like an animal thing
Right.
or something.
Right.
But it almost like that doesn't really play into the rest of the thing because anytime you ever saw them, they just wanted to eat and kill you. And then all of a sudden, there's-
I mean, in a way, you got to think about.
Do you remember-
Maybe he had the cure the whole time.
Yes.
And he's trying to create a cure, and he was a cure.
here's
Yeah.
my
And
analogy.
that's how I took it.
Yeah.
And when they smelled them, it was kind of like.
but they tried to
smelled
kill him earlier in that place where the dog runs off into the warehouse. Remember that? And like that building?
Yeah, but-
that's a freaky ass scene.
But
Yeah,
then-
but were they chasing him or the dog?
Oh, that's true.
have you guys ever seen this wonderful film, Ice Age? Was John
Yeah, it's actually great.
John
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo, Ray
Yeah.
Romano, and
All of them are great, actually.
God, what's his name from The Ref?
Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary. And at the end of that movie, spoiler if you haven't seen this wonderful movie, Ice Age, at the end of the movie, the
Actually great
woolly mammoth and the saber-toothed tiger and the whatever he was,
Prairie dog looking thing, but I don't know
yeah,
what he
they're,
is.
they're walking towards the humans who are like the hunter-gatherers or whatever, and then they turn around with their spears and they're like, oh, we're going to kill this thing because that's what we do. We fucking kill animals and eat them and shit.
Yeah.
And then they pull out the little baby, and then they're like, he's like, oh, stop. That's basically I Am Legend. Because I Am Legend's like, here's your woman.
Yes,
And they're
we're
like,
not
we're not
hurting
going to
her.
kill you because she's still alive.
Right, but they're sort of like they're just killers, like on
Like if Ray
instinct.
Romano was like, here's your dead baby, they would have killed him.
I thought this was going to be a short episode, but I guess not.
So
So
we're just talking about this is how we derail. We go from
Yeah.
contagious
There's always derail.
infection
The
to
moral of the
Ice
story
Age.
is don't kill them babies unless they're your babies.
we should yeah.
That's
Oh.
a terrible. No,
That's
don't
a
ever kill your
terrible moral.
babies.
we,
You can kill your darlings though if you're making movies. You're supposed to kill your darlings. You slash them up, edit them. You're okay. They call
the
it
fuck is wrong with
They
you?
call it
I don't
killing
know
your
where-
darling.
I don't know
What
where
the
we're
fuck you? You
going
know what
with
I'm talking
this.
about.
No, I don't.
When you're
No.
editing something and it's sort of like you kill your darlings. Also, if you're editing scripts or whatever,
Right.
like if you don't, you're like, oh my god, I don't want to lose this scene.
This is that
you can do it.
Hollywood. This is
that's
that
the
Hollywood
the
talk.
phrasing they use to kill your darlings.
I
It's
feel
actually
like
really
you're trying
fucked up.
too hard to like.
No, because it's like your baby,
Can we
but
just-
like
can
you're
we
like you have
just
to
end-
get rid of it, so you have
can
to
we
kill
just
your
end-
darling. It's so fucked up.
Can we?
Oh. Well, it's like break a leg. Like, why the fuck would I break a leg?
Yeah,
What the would
fuck you.
do
I
that
ain't gonna
for?
break a fucking leg.
Like, yeah, I'm
break
not
your
breaking
leg.
my shit. Like,
It's kind of like
I'm gonna win.
It's kind
but
of like
not
when you
harm myself.
when you try to end the episode and it just won't fucking work.
It's like To Be or Not to Be with Mel Brooks, where he goes, good luck. No, you never say that to an actor, okay? In show business and in theater work, good luck means bad luck, okay? What should I say? Say like break a leg. Okay, break a leg. He tumbles down the stairs. You all right? I think I broke my leg.
All right, guys.
Man.
Thank you for joining us here at Get to the Movies. That's Get to the Movies with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
And stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. Wash your hands. I saw this picture of this germs on a hand with a black light or whatever. After 5 seconds, the germs were still there. 10 seconds, still there. 20 seconds, it was gone. So, like, wash your hands for longer. That's the best thing I could say.
Oh, you mean for, the longer you wash your hands.
Yeah, just be more conscious of washing your hands more often and do it for longer with soap and water.
Yeah.
And if you're concerned that you can't find sanitizer anywhere, there are recipes online
to do it.
To make proper ones. Please make sure that you follow the proper recipe to make.
Diego's been using the anarchist cookbook and making his own.
I found
your own
a really interesting recipe that works with 3 ingredients.
It's just ketchup, right?
All right, cool. Thank you guys for joining us.
It
We'll
is
talk
not
to you
ketchup.
later.
Do not try to wash your hands with ketchup.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.